Hey everybody, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm. Today we are going to stake some of our trees. This year the only planting that we've done so far is 100 Carolina Sapphire and 100 Leland Cypress, and they're like this tall, and many of them are very flimsy and drooping over. So we want to stake them up. We also have some of last year's Lelands that also need staking, and across our fields we've got some pines and some other trees that could use some straightening. So to do the staking, I've got 1/2 inch PVC here. I hope it's going to be strong enough. I've never done this before, but I bought this because it's cheap, and in the future if we're going to end up doing more staking, I probably want something more robust. I've seen some folks use some steel rod, and I've seen some folks use fiberglass stakes. Both of those seem pretty attractive. I can't find either of those locally, so I'm gonna have to find a supplier and get that shipped in, but I wanted to get these trees staked sooner rather than later, and PVC is very available. You know, pretty much any home supply store, plumbing supply shop, you can get that no matter what market you're in. So that's why I'm using it, and because it's cheap, not gonna lie. So standard 10-foot lengths I have here. I'm going to cut them into thirds, so they'll be 3 foot 4 inches or so, and that should be plenty tall for us to get through just a couple seasons here, especially with the Lelands that grow quickly. You know, they could grow 2 to 3 feet a year, so we'll get at least a year, maybe 2 years out of these stakes. Then hopefully the trees won't need any more staking. If they do, at that time we can look at getting some more robust fiberglass or steel stakes. So I'm going to get into this, cutting these down to size, and then Stacy and the kids are going to be here in a little bit, and they're going to help me put these in the ground. We just got rain last night, so hopefully they go into the ground really easy, but follow along, let's have a little fun. Here we go. I think all I'm going to do, I'm just going to measure here on the trailer. We've got 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 inches, 3 1/3 feet is 10 feet evenly, right? And then I can just slide out each piece here, use my little cutter. Ooh. All right, we got a good start on these stakes. There's still more in the truck, but I want to start getting the trees staked up. So we'll cart them out on the four-wheeler like this. We'll use little rubber bands, which I'll show you once we get out in the field. This section here are the Carolina Sapphire, so we'll give you an up close of exactly how we're tying the trees to the pole. I mentioned earlier we're using these little rubber bands, and I know everybody asked where we get them from. I'm pretty sure it was A.M. Leonard. I will drop a link down in this video's description to the exact product. I think there's different sizes for the small poles and the small trees, small seedlings that we have here. The size works great, but I think if we were trying to tie up any bigger trees, we would definitely want some bigger rubber bands than what we have here. So let me give you an up close.
Okay, so I do have my pruning shears here to also basil prune the bottoms while we're tying it up. Just makes it a lot easier. I also look for the most the tallest and the one that's probably going to be the best leader, and just kind of tie that up as straight as possible. This one's a good one. You wrap it around, and there's like this little arrow that kind of catches the rubber band. Then you can kind of twist the rubber band depending upon where the tree needs to be straight, and that's pretty much it. So I already trimmed this one back, didn't have a lot, but it's super tall. As you can see, this leader is kind of falling over, so I'm going to pull it up. This is the rubber band. That's what's going to catch it and hold it in there. Just put it around. I make sure that the arrow's on the back side of the pole so it doesn't interfere with the branches too much. I'm always afraid they're going to break, but there you go.
So we'll keep you posted how these work. Obviously, we haven't done this before, so hopefully this works well for us. But these little trees, even though we've sprayed around them and have kept the grass down, they're really hard to see because they're really only, most of them are about that tall. So having the stakes here, more than anything, obviously we want the trees to grow straight and we want the stakes to guide those trees up straight, but they're good markers for us driving around the field so that we know where they are and we don't run them over or step on them. So we'll keep you posted. In case you're wondering, all that mulch, all those wood chips that were spread all around there is an area that we're going to try to improve the soil. I think I've mentioned this in previous videos, but we're going to try to improve the soil here. So we're going to do a couple seasons of cover crop, starting with a buckwheat crop this summer, all in that area, and then we'll do another crop over the winter, and then something else next year, and we're going to try to do like 2 years of cover crop in here before we plant any more trees. We've had so many losses with trees in our main field that we're going to try to do probably 2 seasons of nursery beds, and before we transplant the trees to the field. And by the time we get around to that, hopefully the fields will all be in a lot better shape than they are right now.
And it'll be great for photographers because the buckwheat blooms are absolutely gorgeous. So an extra revenue of income while our trees are growing.
Yeah, so the white buckwheat fields, which if you go and search buckwheat fields, you'll see are really popular with photographers. And if we can mulch that into the soil before it goes to seed, that's just natural mulch or natural green manure for the soil that will help the next crop and so on. So between the organic matter that we've added with the wood chips and the organic matter that we're adding with new plants and turning that in every season, hopefully the soil ends up being a lot better a couple seasons from now, or we're ready to plant some more trees. So if you got any questions about what we're doing out here, then you can leave those in the comments and we'll try to answer as many of those as we can. Until next time, hope you have a good one. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.